Hello there, everyone, and welcome to a video people actually asked for. Imagine. Now, I won't bore you with too much talking because I kind of want to just get right into it. We have a lot to cover. But as you can see from the title, this is going to be Genshin Impact for dummies, for beginners, for the casual player. I have a couple of disclaimers before I get into it, so if you want to skip it, that's totally fine. I'm going to be segmenting this video up with little screens to say kind of what we're talking about, what the topic is, in case you want to skip around and learn about certain things in this game. So if you don't want to hear these disclaimers, um, just skip through. I won't be too hurt. Number one, this video is not scripted. I didn't script this because I felt like it would be best to kind of show you things as I go along. So I saved my dailies, which we'll get into what those are if you're not aware, so I can kind of show what it looks like as I'm doing it. So if you wanted really professional, this is not it, and I apologize. Second disclaimer is that this is for the casual player. I am not giving any tutorials, tips, and tricks for anything crazy. If you're looking for someone who's an expert at building, at artifact hunting, at weapon getting, at anything like that that's specific, that takes like a lot of brain power and like thinking and skill to do, this is not for you. Third disclaimer, I am not going to be going into every single little thing. I am not going to be giving you tutorials on like the puzzles in each map and how to do certain things like that. I am saving all of that for the tutorials that are in game, which if you're not aware, I will show you where those are, but I am not going over what is already a tutorial in the game like that. I'm going to be going over pretty much everything else that is not super obvious, or at least it wasn't to me when I started the game, to kind of help people out because I understand. This game is just so overwhelming for the regular person, and it took me a long time to get a bearing on what I'm doing, essentially. And I'm still not one of those Genshin players that can like build a perfect character or anything like that, you know? I play it casually, I try to play it relatively well, and I just wanted to share what I have that is not pressuring and not in an overwhelming way. You can watch certain segments as much as you want, hear me repeat myself as much as you want. I get it. This game is a lot, and it is a lot to get a handle on. And I have been told that it might be good for me to just do a little all-encompassing tutorial on kind of just what to do. Now, without further ado, let's get into the item of the day. If you don't know what that is, every video I do an item of the day that sits in the background. Now, today's item, I really wanted it to be on brand, so of course it is Genshin themed, and we have D-Luke, and also, like, you're joking. Oh, I like D-Luke better. Do not come at me, child stands. Shut up. Shut up. It's my opinion. I love D-Luke, and I just got him in the game. Let me have my win. But I'm going to set him up in the background, and then we will jump straight into it. I will also say, another tiny disclaimer, I'm going to be in the bottom little this corner, because otherwise I'm going to be blocking important stuff. So I'm going to be in a slightly different spot. So just so you know. Alrighty, everybody. We are in Mondstadt, which is the first map or, you know, place that you go to in the game. And I'm going to be doing this as if you are just a person, no matter where you are in your Genshin journey. If you're just starting the game today, or if you're you know, 2 years into the game. Now that I am in, I will give the last disclaimer, is that depending on where you are in the game, some of these things may or may not apply to you. So, you know, if you just started the game, all you're gonna have in the map is Mondstadt. You're not gonna have all of this crazy room and places to go. You're not gonna know what any of this is. So some of the things I'm gonna go over.
I roam, I carry memories of my home.
Thank you, Kazuha. Anyways, but it depends on where you're at in your Genshin journey. So please, if you're still a little confused because you just started the game, so you might not have some of the things I'm talking about, don't worry. It will apply to you at some point. So the way I'm going to go about it is I'm going to start with the things that you see on the screen, and then we will go into the menu that you just saw, and we'll go from there. So firstly, you may not know, because I didn't for the longest time, you can see that my screen is moving. I'm using the mouse to move it. Typical PC controls. Just so you know, this is on the PC. Things might be a little different if you're playing it on, you know, PS4 or whatever you have. So it might be a little different, but basically everything is going to hold out the same. If you are on PC, if you need to click on anything that is on the screen, if you see the icons up at the top, up at the other top, you're going to hold down Alt, and then you can drag your mouse around and click on any of this that you need, right? So we are going to start out with this little guy over by your mini-map. So this brings you straight to the quests. These are going to be all of your quests. So we will start with quests. What are these? What do they do? Why do I do them? These ones that you see up here, they are labeled commission quests. These are going to be part of what we call the dailies, and I will get into dailies more as we go on. But commission quests are once a day. You get 4 quests every day. That's why they're called, you know, they're looped in with dailies. You get them every day. And these ones can be in a number of places. All of mine, you can see, are in Sumeru. I did that on purpose. I will get into it in a little bit, but there is a way that you can cater it to be in one place, or it can be randomly every day. So for me personally right now, I just have them all in Sumeru, just because I have the least amount of stuff from there, so it's easier for me to explore if I'm having quests that throw me in random spots in there. Then we have world quests. These are all going to be in different sort of storylines, and you get varying rewards for them. So you can see I have one of the daily quests or commission quests selected, and it shows you the possible rewards you can get. Now the world quests are going to be a little different. See that? How cool. These ones also are kind of the bigger world quests. World quests are, to me, segmented in 2 different ways. The littler ones and the bigger ones. The bigger ones are usually going to take a significantly larger amount of time to complete all of the content. It'll usually be separated into all sorts of different segments and things like that. And that's why you can see they have sort of bigger titles, whereas these ones are just little, kind of like the commission quests up here. So this one and this one are going to be bigger world quests. Otherwise, there is another option that you cannot see because I personally have completed them all, but you can also do it like this. You can pick all of these. So this, commission quests, this, world quests, and then there's a couple of other ones. The other main one that I would say to pay attention to are the Archon quests. Those will also be titled just like these are. Those are going to be the ones that have the biggest impact on the story. They're going to have the voice acting. They're going to have the cutscenes. They're going to have everything going on that you can possibly have going on. Those are going to be the ones that you don't have to do right away, but if you want to progress a lot, you do have to do those. There is also one other type that I will go over and I will show you. So it's going to be a little bit blocked, which I apologize, but down in the corner where my face is, there is going to be a thing that is titled Story Quests. And if I click on that, oh, it takes me that I already did the main ones. And then you have side ones. Story quests focus on quests that are specific to a character. And you unlock keys to unlock these by doing your daily commission quests. See what I mean? Doing your dailies can pay off because you can access all of these. Now, these will be sort of the main story quests, which, as you can see, I did all of them already. They take the most amount of keys to unlock, if I'm not mistaken. You can claim them. See, I can't, though, because I am full. But it'll show you have to claim 8 daily commissions to receive one of these keys. So it takes 2 days to unlock 1 key. Simple math. I can do that. Now, these I usually do more at my leisure. You don't have to do them right away. A lot of the times you have to do those big Archon quests before you can do these character quests, depending on the character. So for the latest one for Alhaitham, you had to complete the Archon quests, you know, before you did all that, because there's important context that you need from the Archon quests to make the character ones make sense. The littler character quests are very different in that regard. So if I click on, I don't know, Goro, you can see that I have 1 of 5 endings reached. So this is very, very different. I really do like the way that they did this. So basically it's like a choose your own adventure type of thing. So it shows me, if I click on that, my locked endings and the things that I have done. So these are little quests that you can get specific endings on. Each ending that you get, you unlock little rewards. If I click on that, it shows me I claimed that one, but these ones are not completed. And don't come at me for not completing these, okay? I'm lazy about doing these, and that's fine. You don't have to do all of these to unlock, like, everything and progress in the game, right? Like, you can see, I am living proof that you don't have to do that. So there's plenty of character quests to go around if you're logged in, you did all your dailies, you spent all your resin, and you're bored, and you want to do these and get a couple of rewards. All right, now we'll get into some gameplay a little bit, so I can show you what it looks like when you complete these daily commissions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick one, and I'm going to click that navigate. Then, if I click M on my keyboard, or if you hit escape, you can go to the map right here. And it'll show you, you can't see it because it's in the bottom of my screen. Let me scroll over here. It'll show me where that is. And you can see I have another commission over there and all sorts of stuff going on. So I just want to open the map to see where the hell I'm going. So I'm going to pick this waypoint to go to so I can get right over there. You can see that my commission quest is over there. I'm going to fly over there and we're going to do whatever it needs to be done. Okay, this is a good thing to show. So if you saw that on my screen, it said that there was a random event. Now, random events are basically little tiny quests that pop up if you enter its trigger area. Okay, so it's not working this time. That's fine. A lot of times, if you click V on your keyboard, it'll navigate you to whatever random event that you chose, but it's not working. So I don't know where the random event is. I think it's probably over there. You just gotta kind of look for where action is happening, and you can see that those enemies over here, yep, looks like it. There we go. So it says event complete, and you can see at the corner, or the side of the screen, I got a couple of rewards. I know a lot of people ignore those, and I understand. You do not have to do the random events. It is not necessary. You don't have to do them. I like to do them because, hey man, the more shit that you can get, the better. It's not like it gives you primo gems or like crazy rewards or anything, but I like doing them. So you can see that my commission quest has started, so I'm going to talk to him and we'll get that started. I'm also going to skip through all the dialogue because if you stick in one place for your commission quest, it's going to give you the same quest over and over and over again. So I've done like all of this before, so you know, it doesn't really matter. I will say sometimes commission quests will get you little achievements that give you primo gems. So if you do get the same quest over again, try picking different dialogue options and stuff just to see if you can unlock any kind of achievements. All right, cool. Commission complete. See that? I obtained primo gems. And at the side of the screen, there we go. Shows me the other stuff I got. Hooray! All right, last commission quest is done. So if I look at my quests, they're all gone. They don't show up anymore. All I have is the world quests that I'm too lazy to do. That is pretty much it for the quests. So you should be set to go on whatever you need quest-wise. Next thing that we are going to go over is very small. See Paimon? Paimon's little head. Once you start the game, you know who Paimon is. Don't worry about that. Click on Paimon's head. It opens the menu. That's it.
Wonderful.
Next thing, if you click on
Surely
this,
enough to convince
it
anyone
does
to
what is
become a
called
wanderer.
elemental sight. Now, there are 2 ways on PC to do elemental sight. The way I just showed you, where you hold Alt and you click on it. Otherwise, if you have a mouse, again, PC, what you can do is you can hold down the little scrolly wheel and you can activate it that way. That way you can move around a little bit more while you're doing elemental sight, so it's a little easier. Elemental sight is really only important for certain things. It shows you in tutorials. You don't need me to really explain it. That's just what that button is for. That's how you do it. Next thing that we can click on is this little icon here, and that brings up co-op mode. Now, co-op mode is exactly what it sounds like. You play with other people. Now, there are a few caveats to this. You can obviously play with your friends, which is what you do with this little thing here. This UID number is your little ID number that you can give to your friends, and they can enter it in and you can be friends. And in the menu, you can see that there's a little friends thing, and it shows who my friends are. And it'll also show their world level. Now, we'll get into level stuff in a bit. It's a lot. It is one of the most complicated for no reason things in the game. Please don't worry about that right now. But it shows their world level, and that is important for co-op mode simply because somebody in a higher world level mode can go to a lower world level. So this person is 41. My world level is 59. So I can go there and not have a problem because the lower your world level, the lower the levels of everything in your game. So since I am world level 59, which the max right now is 60, so I'm almost there, everything is going to be pretty much as tough as it can be. If I go to a lower world level, things are going to be a little easier for me, but it cannot be vice versa. There are thresholds that it'll show you in the game, and people who have that threshold, they cannot go to a higher world level. So if you are 2 years into the game and you're world level 60 and your friend just started and they're world level 1, they cannot come to your world. They just can't. So you're just going to have to wait until you unlock the ability to do so. But really, co-op mode is good for a few things. If you have a friend that you want to play with, obviously that's the biggest one. The second reason, one of the best reasons to me is, why would you go to a random person's world and not your friends? Well, if you go into here, it shows you people who are online right now. If you go to your friends, it will show you who's online, but right now it shows that everyone in my friends list is offline. So if I need a resource that I have already gotten all of in my world and I have to wait days for it to respawn, I can go to a random person's world and ask them, hey, can I collect these things, whatever you need? Can I collect Patty Saras in your world? And they'll usually be like, yeah, because if I request to join, they can either say no, they can say yes, or it can time out because it gives a certain amount of seconds to have them say yes or no. People in Genshin are very, very readily available to let you take their shit. They're usually very, very nice in that regard, and they will let you get whatever you need as long as you ask. And it's always very nice to ask them if they need help with anything. Usually they don't, but it's just common courtesy to ask. It's just nice of you. To me, that's pretty much it for co-op mode. Like I sort of mentioned, you can fight with people and do certain bosses and stuff like that. There are only certain things that you can do in co-op mode though, so just be careful of that. Like certain quests and things like that you can't do if someone's in your world or vice versa. But that's pretty much it for everything up here. If you click on the mini map too, it'll open the full map, but you know, usually it's easier to just use the kind of regular keys or whatever buttons you have. But if you want to click anything on the screen, that's available to you. Now, the next thing is going to be very different depending on when you're seeing this video and how far you are in the game. This icon here is going to be the events. Now, these are just the events that are going on right now. So I've already completed all of this. So I'm not going to show you this. And again, it depends on how far you are in the game and everything like that. It's going to be different for everybody in that regard. But events are going to be things that you do have to do within a certain amount of time. So for this one, it says time remaining is 5 days, 17 hours. You know, it's, again, a really nice thing to include in your dailies is checking the events and making sure that you're doing those if you want to. You don't have to, but it's nice because it gives you some nice rewards. This one is Overflowing Mastery. They do this every so often. Again, time remaining, 5 days, 17 hours. Then we have Test Run. This is going to happen every single time a new banner happens, which if you don't know what that is, I will also get to that. But that's what this is. You can test out the characters and you get rewards for testing them out. So I say do it. It's free, doesn't take very long, and you get free shit. Then this one, a lot of the times it'll just show you new areas. This isn't necessarily an event. It's just saying like, hey, look. It's a new thing that we just put in the game. Isn't that fun? And you're like, wow, cool. And you can initiate the quest. You can go there, whatever you need to do. It just shows you stuff. Now, next is going to be something, to me, very important. And also confusing.
In this world I roam.
This is going to be the Battle Pass. If you've played any other sort of like, I know this is very common in like shooter games and stuff like that, which I don't play, but battle passes are a very common thing in games. Personally, for me though, I didn't really experience what a battle pass was until I started playing Genshin. So I am going to explain it as if you've never seen one before. If you have, you get the concept. There's going to be a max amount of levels that you need to get. So in battle pass, it's always going to be 50. You got to get to level 50 in order to unlock all of the rewards. And battle passes, you pretty much always have to pay your real money dollars for if you want to unlock everything. So you can see I already did. But generally, if you just want the regular rewards and don't want to spend your money, that's totally fine. I think it's still worth it to complete it because you get all the stuff that it is in this Sojourner's Battle Pass, which is just all the stuff at the top. All the stuff on the bottom you don't get unless you pay for. But if you just play regular, you still get wishes. You still get a lot of really, really good rewards the more you go on. But if you pay, you get a lot of other stuff. But please do not pay your money dollars until you get to level 50, or unless you know for a fact you are going to get to level 50 within the allotted time frame. Do not waste your money. If you have 1 day left and you're at level 30, do not pay. Do not even bother. This refreshes every month, basically. So this one, time remaining in this battle pass period, this will be a little cut off, but it says 5 days, 17 hours. So you can see that the times match a lot with like the events and stuff going on. Genshin is pretty good at doing that. So that's always kind of nice. But if you go to this will show you how to get those points, the BEP, whatever you want to call it. It shows you how to get them. So you can see a certain task gives you a certain amount. So this will be event. So these are specific ones to that specific battle pass. Each month, these will change. These ones change every week. Again, it'll always show you how much time you have left. These are your dailies. When someone says, oh, I have to do my Genshin dailies, I gotta log in and do my dailies, this is what they're talking about. It's really nice because in order to do your dailies, you don't have to remember it because Battle Pass lists it all for you. It's very nice. I know what the dailies are off the top of my head because I literally do it every day. But it shows you what you got to do. Number 1, log in. Fantastic. Number 2, complete 4 daily commissions. Sweet, I did that. The rest of the two, mine 10 items and use a total of 150 original resin. We will get to resin. Mining items, I'll show you a little hack for, but mining items is self-explanatory. You go collect stones and iron and stuff. If you go to this one here, it'll show you the weapons that you can get if you pay for the battle pass. So each time you pay for the battle pass and you unlock level 50, you get to choose one of these weapons, and it has one of each type of weapon that you can get. But yeah, if you go back to the little menu here, it'll say unlock Gnostic Hymn. That's where you can pay. So it shows you. It unlocks all that stuff, and you select one of the 4-star weapons for the current period, which is one of these. This one, if you pay more monies, you get a little bit more stuff. If you want it, cool. It'll give you all this stuff and this stuff. So, hey man, I'm not going to stop you if that's what you want to do. But that is pretty much it for the battle pass. It's really, really nice because the rewards it gives you are fan-fucking-tastic. Oh my god. If you're going to strive for anything, do the battle pass. I promise you it's worth it if you don't mind spending your money dollars, or even if you don't, it still gives you some really, 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 really good stuff. All right, next we're moving on to a big thing. These are the banners. Now, I'm sure if you are just starting Genshin and you have a friend who plays Genshin regularly, you would have heard something about this. This is like the Genshin thing. It's gambling. It's gambling. That's all it is. And just like gambling, it is very addictive. I get people asking me who have just started Genshin or don't really get what's going on. Like, how do you get characters? I don't get it. This is generally how. There will be certain quests and like events and things like that where you can unlock 4-star characters. That's what's really nice is sometimes Genshin will throw you a bone and you can unlock some characters for free. That's always very cool. But generally they want you to pay money. So we do. So down in the corner, you can't necessarily see, but there is a shop button. If you click the shop button, all of this pops up. This is a lot. I know this is a lot. This can be overwhelming, but bear with me here. Recommended is just going to be things that are either on sale right now or literally just something that the game is recommending to you. So right now, this character outfit for Ayaka is recommended because it's on sale. It's not going to be on sale for very long. It says 5 more days, so that's why it's recommending it to you. Blessing of the Welkin Moon. I have paid for this multiple times. If I am, going to be home every single day, and I know that, and I know I'm going to have time for like a full month for 30 days, this is very, very worth it for $5. But if you know you're going on a vacation that month, if you know that you might be really busy or something like that, and you can't log in every single day to get these 90 Primo Gems, not worth it. Do not buy it. Next, we're going to go into character outfits. This is very self-explanatory. So as you see right now, Ayaka's is still on sale, and then there's all the other character outfits, and it'll show me that I already own this one. Next is the gift shop. This is just stuff that you can spend those Genesis crystals on, which you buy with your real money dollars. You cannot buy Primo Gems with your real money dollars, which I will show you. But you can buy these Genesis crystals. If you click on this little plus, it shows you down at the crystal top up. But this is how you can get more Primo Gems. If you buy these, you can convert them into Primo Gems. Otherwise, you can buy them for these little bundles. It'll show you what you get in them. Then we have Paimon's Bargains. These are... they're frustrating. So if we start here, this is the Star Glitter Exchange. So this is where, okay, I will fully give you a heads up. This can be complicated. So if you get a little lost here, I understand. So I will explain it as clearly and concisely as I possibly can. Now, Star Glitter are these guys. Masterless Star Glitter. The only way to get these specific ones is by wishing. So when you use your little fates here on either banner and wish, You can get those, but here's the thing. You don't always get them. You always get these. The Masterless Stardust. Every time you wish, you get some of these, whether it's a character or a weapon. You get these. But the only way to get these is by getting duplicates, like a character that you've already maxed out your constellation on. That's how you get these, and you get a certain amount every time. Stardust Exchange, same exact idea, but just with these guys, okay? I hope you're following me. So if I go here, and I make a wish, 10 or 1, whatever I want to do, and I just make any wish, I will get these guys. I will get these. No matter what, I will get some of these. And if you save them up, you can trade them for shit. Now, there's more, but if I scroll down, it shows me that I already traded a bunch. Then, we have purchase with Primo Gems. This is very easy. The Primo Gems, you see them everywhere. You know them, you love them. You trade those for the Fates. Now, let's get into the banners. I am not going to explain to you what the fuck pity is and how that all works. I don't know. I am just explaining the general gist of things that the game doesn't necessarily explain very well to you. If you want to know the math and how to do all of the pity and all of that, look up someone else's video. This is not the video for you. But there are going to be generally, right now, 4 banners. Right now, you can do 1 of 2 of these character event wishes. So you can pick and choose. Do you want Hu Tao or do you want Yelan? So we have character event wishes. These ones are the limited ones. You only get a certain amount of time to wish for these characters. Once they're gone, you have to wait for what they call a rerun. There's going to be 1 5-star, and then the other ones you see here are 4 stars. 5-star characters are like the really good characters. They're 5 out of 5 stars. So when they have double banners like this, it'll say time remaining. You know, right now it's about a week for both of these guys. So depends on what character you want, and you do it by clicking on little wish. You can do up to 10 or you can do 1 at a time. I've heard mixed reviews on whether it's better to do 10 pulls or 1 at a time. Do what your heart desires, okay? I don't care. But then we also have weapons. Now, this one will also be limited, so it's just like these two, but it's for weapons instead of the characters. And it'll explain and everything how to do this. But again, these are all going to be limited time. If you want them, try to get them before they're gone. Lastly, here we have the standard wish. This is always here. 24/7, 365, okay? They're always gonna be here, so don't worry about it. You can get one of many 5-star characters. It's not just these 3. And then there's also 5-star weapons that you can get. How do I know that there are more than these characters that you can get? Well, I'm glad you asked. If we go to details, it'll show you. This is a lot of words. I know that. I know. If you want to go into all the probability and the math and going through all of this, hey man, be my guest. I don't care. I am a casual player. I don't need to know. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't know. If you want to know, it lists it all here. The thing that I usually look at is the list of items. So this is very easy, self-explanatory. Items to wish for. 5-star items. It'll say character or it'll say weapon. If you scroll down, it'll say 4 stars. It'll say character and then it'll say weapons. And then there's 3-star weapons. Not characters, because characters only come in 4 and 5-star. But it'll say weapons. It lists it all for you. It categorizes it all. One thing that I will also explain that surprised me the first time it sort of happened is if you're trying to get one of these characters, I have bad news for you. If you click on details, it's a little easier because you have a 50-50 shot. So if you hear someone say that they lost the 50-50, this is what they're referring to. You have a 50% chance of getting the character that you want on that banner. However, you also have a 50% chance of getting any other character. Genshin laughs at you. They hate you. All right, the last thing I had to go over for wishes is history. I'm hoping you should be able to see this. This will show you, time received, wish type, item name, item type. So this literally just shows you the history of what you've gotten when you've wished. So since I'm on the standard banner, it's going to show me what I got. So you can see the last thing I got was this, and I got Ningguang, then I got this, I got Barbara, I got D-Luke, all this stuff. This is really helpful if you're really trying to keep track of how many wishes you're at. That is pretty much it for wish stuff. I really hope that all made sense. I tried to explain it as simply as I could. It's complicated, and I know that, but we have more to go over, and I apologize. But the next thing that we're going to go over is your little journal here. This has a multitude of things. So this is experience. So this just gets you rewards for things that you do. I have completed all of these. So if I go back, it's segmented into chapters. So basically, you can come into here if you're like, I'm kind of bored. I don't know what to do. It'll show you things that you can do. And make sure to check these because a lot of the times it doesn't give you a notification. We have commissions. So this is what I was mentioning at the very beginning with commissions, and you can cater it to where you want it. So you can do all Mondstadt, all Liyue, all Inazuma, all Sumeru, or random. Then we have domains. We'll get a little more into domains when we start talking about characters, but this just shows you the domains and what they give you. So it'll say domains, Trounce domains, and Spiral Abyss. So domains, just regular ones, give you all sorts of stuff, which we'll get into. But if you're looking for a certain thing, or it shows you like the bonus ones, this is where you can go and take a look. Trounce domains. This is where you get different stuff. I'm so sorry. These ones, you can, it'll show you remaining cost having opportunities this week. So we'll get into these when we talk about characters, but Trounce domains are different than regular domains. I know. It's a lot. I know. Spiral Abyss is a whole fucking monster. I hate Spiral Abyss. I will say that off the bat. I fucking hate Spiral Abyss. So if I go to my map, I already know off the top of my head where Spiral Abyss is, and it's going to be over here. But when you first start, obviously none of this is going to be unlocked for you, but you can get some mad good rewards. Gives you a lot of primo gems. So that's why Spiral Abyss is sort of worth it. At least the first 8 levels to me are very worth it. So if I go to here and I click on this one, it's going to show me that I have 3 chambers to do. Now, if you quit when you're not done with all these, you basically have to start over. So floor 9, it says, there's little traits that happen here. And if I click start, I pick 2 parties. It has the first half of each floor. So each of those 3 floors are designated into 2 halves that you have to fight with each team that you make. So let's say for the first half, I'm just going to pretend. So let's say for the first half, I pick these characters. Second half, I pick these characters. This is a really shitty teams. Don't look at these. So the first half, I'm going to fight only with these guys. Second half, I'm going to fight only with these guys, and I have to go as far as I can. Now, the problem is that I cannot heal with anything except whatever character. So if I have a healer character, so let's say I replace Albedo with Kokomi, who is a healer, I can't heal with anything else, really. I can't use food. So if your character dies, that's it. Sorry. Hold out as long as you can. You cannot eat, revive, change party setup, or change equipment during the challenge. and they're difficult. The more floors you go, the harder it fucking gets. That's why I hate Spiral Abyss. So that's pretty much it for the domains. Let's go to the enemies portion. So this is pretty helpful if you are spending your daily resin, which we will get to, but it's really nice if you are, let's say, collecting items from electrohypostases to level up your character. It'll show you the respawn rate. So if you just beat this guy, you have to wait for it to respawn. If you go into here, it shows you the amount of time, which I'll show you later, that it has left until it respawns again. Then we have guide. This I never ever use. It basically just shows me like quests it wants me to do. It's like, hey, you should do this quest. And I'm like, I'm aware. So if you use this, cool. I don't. Then we have M battle. Again, it's just one of those things that gets you rewards. I did all of them. So it's like, ascend a pyro character other than the Traveler to phase 4 and do all this shit, and it gets you stuff. It's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. Again, if you're bored, you know, it's a good thing to do. But that's pretty much it for this whole little journal. I don't use this at all a whole lot. If you're earlier in the game than I am, then you would. But where I'm at, I've pretty much done all of this. So that's what that is. So next, we have our bag, our little inventory. How fun. I have a lot of shit. It shows you how much gold and primo gems you have too, so that's kind of nice, but it's all segmented. This is very easy, self-explanatory. It shows you what you have. So I will also warn you that you may or may not have a serenitea pot based on where you are in the game. You only unlock it at a certain level after a certain quest. So if you're just starting out and you're like, why the fuck don't I have this? That's why. You're just gonna have to be patient and wait a little longer. Once you do have it, you can click it, you can click place, and it'll show up right in front of you, and you can hit F. Then you're going to be transported into your own little world, is what I would call it. It's basically like your house. It's just your house. Think of it like that. Mine, do not make fun of it. It is not like decked out and decorated because that is not my goal. I don't really care that much. What I care about is the things that I can get. So if you take a look around, I have characters. I have characters that are standing here and having a good time. The reason I have them here is if I talk to Tubby, so if I go to trust rank, see these characters, and I click on this, that's doing a little thing, I am leveling up their friendship, which I will get to once I start talking about characters. But that's really the reason I have them in my teapot, because you get more friendship level if you have them in your party, but otherwise they just kind of sit there. So I like to have them in my teapot to get to level 10 and then switch them out for the next one, because if you level them up, level up their friendship, that is. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. But if I go to my little name card, change name card. So this is the one I got for leveling up Sayu's friendship to level 10. This is one I got for Ito. This is one I got for Goro. You know, this is one for Toma. All that fun stuff. Otherwise, you can also get these realm currencies. These are very, 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 very useful. Love these bitches. They accrue after a certain amount of time. So if you click this, it says I get 20 per hour. Once you get a certain amount, you can buy certain things. So I got all of this. Now if I go to Realm Depot, and again, I'm not going to delve into too much of this because it gives you a tutorial in the game. But if I go to Realm Depot, I can buy some very useful things. So right now I'm saving up to buy this transient resin because this refreshes every week. So I'm just trying to save up to buy the one that I can buy. So it says purchase up to 1. So purchase up to 20, so on and so forth. And every week I get to buy a new one. So that's all I'm going to delve into the serenitea pot for, which I know you're probably thinking like, what the fuck is that resin? What is that for? I will get to that. Don't worry. But that's it for serenitea pot. Well, everybody, we are on to possibly one of, if not the most confusing thing in Genshin Impact, which is the characters. What do you do? How do you do? What will you do? That's a hard question to answer, but I'm going to try my best. So as you can see, I have many characters. I have many. And I also just got here from going up and clicking the little traveler's head button, or on the menu you can access it by just going to characters. Right now,
It is the
my
last link I
personal
have to the
goal
land of
in
my
Genshin
birth.
is to get all of my characters to level 90 and then sort of build them from there. People do it in all sorts of different ways. This is just up to my personal preference. Yours might be a little different. Let's use Diluc as an example since he's not quite level 90 yet. So, as you can see, he's beautiful. But anyways, there are a lot of things to go over. So let's start at the top with attributes. This will show all of the general stuff. So it'll show the level, which is also signified by these stars. If you click, it will show you the ascension. So when you ascend a character, it's annoying, if I'm being honest. So you can see all of the past ones that I did. And then my next one, I'm missing some stuff. And then I have one more ascension to do. So essentially, once you level up your character to a certain amount, you have to ascend them.
If you wish to hear.
So you have to collect all of these materials and then essentially unlock them to progress. So I cannot go past level 70 until I ascend him. I have to collect these materials and ascend him before I can go next to the increased level restriction is to 80. So once I ascend him, I am free to level him up until level 80, and then I have to ascend again, and then I'm free to level up until 90, and then that's the max. I'm done. So I know that's weird and a little confusing. It only gets worse. Bear with me.
Wherever in this world I roam,
as you can see,
I carry memories
I
of my
am
home.
still missing some stuff.
This
And
blade.
what is nice is it'll show you
It is
ahead of
the
time what
last
you
link
need. So
I
if I'm
have
looking
to the
here
land
and I
of
click
my
on this
birth.
one, it shows me what my next ascension level kind of materials I need. So right now, that's what I'm spending my resin on, is I need this stuff. Now, ascension materials vary depending on the character. So if I look at, let's go with Yao Yao, completely different stuff, right? It all depends on what element the character is, where they're from, all that kind of stuff. So since Diluc is pyro, I need a lot of pyro materials, so namely these two. Then you'll always need some kind of natural material, whether that be a plant or anything else. A bug, it varies. And then just a little extra thing. That's pretty much it. So these guys you can only get by defeating certain enemies. The other stuff you can get by defeating either regular enemies or just gathering in the wild. Or you can sometimes grow them in your serenitea pot, but there's a whole other thing to that you would get when you unlock serenitea pot. But for me, right now, this is what I need to get. I already have plenty of these guys. I need to use my resin to get these. And if I click on it, it shows me what enemies give me these. So it's dropped by level 60 plus Pyro Regisvines and level 60 plus Pyro Hypostases. So if I exit that and I go back up to my little guide here and I go to enemies, I can kind of scroll down. Look at that. Pyro Regisvine. Or if I want to fight the Pyro Hypostases, I can do that if I want to. I personally like fighting the Regisvine better because it's easier and quicker, but personal preference, it's whatever you need. And if you saw that other item, he also gives me that Everflame seed. I have plenty of those though, so I don't need to worry about those. So again, for Yao Yao, if I look at this and I click on it, it's dropped by the Jade Plume Terror Shroom and the Dendro Hypostases. This is also dropped by the Dendro Hypostases. So always pay attention to these two because a lot of the times you can get them from the same enemy. Not all the time, but most of the time. So that is essentially how you ascend a character. How you level up a character is with
This scenery
a
is
certain items. If I go to my character development items, that's what these guys are. Character experience material, character experience material. You can get those by doing any number of things. You can spend resin to get
wonderful.
them. So resin, which I'll get into a little more in depth later, but
Hardly enough to convince
you can
him.
spend resin to get a lot of the things you need. Not everything. Not everything. But it's fine. Now, if you look at the attribute section here as well, you can click details and you can see a lot of the stats. I am not going to get into how all that works. Again, I am for the casual player. I don't care about building my characters to the max. I build them mediocrely because that's all I need to casually play the game and have a good time. So we're gonna move on to weapons. You just do pretty much the same thing. So enhancing them gives you, again, you ascend them just like a character and then you level them up. However, you level them up with different things. So those other things you saw were character ascension materials. These are weapon ascension materials, but you also get them by spending resin. However, you can only get the weapon ascension materials by spending your resin at domains, and only certain domains are open certain days of the week. It's annoying as fuck, dude. So this one that I need this material for is only open on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if I click on it, I can't go because I'm filming this on a Tuesday. I can't do it. It's closed. So if I want to ascend this weapon, too bad. Everything else is pretty straightforward. You get them by defeating certain enemies. So this one, I don't need to ascend because it's at level 1. And I would just auto add some materials on there to level it up. These guys are usually what you use. You use either other weapons or you use these like gem thingies, fine enhancement ore, weapon enhancement material. You use that to level up your weapons. So just like the characters, there are different materials you need to either level up or ascend the weapons. It's too complicated, I know, but it is what it is. There is also something that you can do called refining your weapons. And what you do is you use identical weapon materials. So essentially, if you have the same of, you know, if I had 2 of these, I could sacrifice one and refine it. I don't do that. I don't pay attention to that. I don't care. Again, some people do. I don't, but that is an option that you can do. Now, I'm going to skip artifacts for a second. We'll get to that. Constellations, as you can see, I don't have any for D-Luke because the only way that you can get constellations is if you get the character again by wishing for them. So I already have D-Luke. If I went to go wish on the standard banner and I got D-Luke again, that means that I get one of his constellations. And that essentially like levels up their attacks. That's pretty much it. So if I go to a character I know I've gotten a billion fucking times, like Ningguang, if you see Genshin players talk about this, they'll call it like a C2, a C4, or a C6, whatever it is. That just stands for like constellation number, whatever. That just signifies how many they've gotten. So my Ningguang would be C6. Because I've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all 6 of her constellations. A lot of this doesn't apply for the Traveler, though. Traveler, you get constellations in a different way because you don't wish for the Traveler. Then we're going to go to talents. Talents, again, is something I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to. But some people really, really, really do. So talents is sort of the same thing as constellations in the fact that you're leveling up their attacks. So normal attack, Searing Onslaught, Dawn, Relentless, blah, 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 blah. So if I go to this one, I can level it up, and it shows me the materials I need and what it does. So it'll show you the percentage that it's rising to if you level it up. It shows you the amount of money it takes to do it, and it shows you the required materials. Now, the higher you get, so let's take a look at my Xiao, because I have done a lot. But this one, I have max level reached. It's at level 10. This one, I am at level 9. This one, I'm also at level 9. The last 3 usually are only level 1. You can't max them out anymore. But let's take a look. So if I go to level up, I need a lot more materials, as you can see. So crowns are really, really valuable to people who do this, because you need these crowns in order to level up the talents. You need them. The higher level you get, you need more of these crowns, right? So even if I like this one, I need another crown, right? This guy, I hate this guy. It is only gotten by fighting Child. However, a lot of the times it will not give you this specific item. It will give you a different item that you then need to go to the crafting table to craft into this item. Hey man, don't fucking ask me. I don't fucking know. That's just the way it works. Let's go to profile. This is very self-explanatory. You can look at their story, gives you details of their little life, and more of it is unlocked the higher your friendship level gets. And then you can also look at their dialogue voiceover. So pretty self-explanatory. You look at their friendship level by going to here. So Xiao's is obviously at 10. If I go back to D-Luke and I hit story, I only have 1 because his friendship is only at level 1. So the higher the friendship, the more of their little story you unlock. All right. The moment everyone was waiting for. Artifacts. Artifacts, to me, are necessary evils. I hate artifacts. But also, if you want your character to do, like, any damage almost at all, especially if you're a casual player, if you don't know how to, like, build a character, artifacts are incredibly important. I didn't know what the hell these were for the first months I was playing. I didn't understand how to do it. I didn't get it. They're confusing and they're weird and I hate them. So I'm going to explain these to you as simply as I can, because I could have used this sort of simple casual explanation when I first started playing, and that's what I'm doing this for. So not only do you level up your character, not only do you level up your weapon, not only do you level up their attacks and their constellation, you level up these artifacts. Artifacts are basically what makes your attacks do things and what gives your character better percentages. So if I go to the attributes and I do that details, it'll show me the percentage of all of their skills. So pyro damage bonus, I have a 7%, 0 on all this, blah, blah, blah. The two that have really worked for me as a casual player to at least make sure I'm doing decent damage to make my life a lot easier is really only paying attention to 3 things: crit rate, crit damage, and a little bit of elemental mastery. Elemental mastery is like 3rd priority. I don't care too much about that, but crit rate and crit damage are the main 2 that I personally, that have worked for me, that I would say to focus a little bit more on. So crit rate, generally what I say and what I've heard is to get it at 60% or more if you can. So let's take a look at Wanderer, who again, I am not done building his artifacts. That's what I'm doing for him right now. You can see some of them are at 0, some of them are at 20, one is at 10. Let's take a look at his details. Right now, my crit rate is at 84.5%. To me, that's fan-fucking-tastic, and it'll only get higher because I'm not even done with his artifacts. If I can get over 100% of the time, that would be amazing. Relax. And I've seen people get 200%, blah, blah, blah. For me, right now, at the stage I'm at, this is awesome. Again, casual player, I don't care that much. But this is really good for me. I don't go artifact hunting. I use what is at my disposal, and that's really all you need to do. I look at the artifacts separately. you see that they all have this gold. That means that they are 5-star artifacts. If I click on it, here, I'll start with this one. 5 stars, right? That means it's the highest quality artifact that you can get. And artifacts will have a main and then like subcategory stuff. Attributes, if you will. Flowers are always going to be HP though for the main stat. The substats, so for this, also artifacts come in different like collections. So like the gladiator ones. So if you look at this flower and then you look at this feather, oh, you seeing a common thing here? They all look the same. If you have the same sort of like brand of artifact, it can give you little extra boosts. So I have Wanderer's Troop. I have 2 of them at least, and it increases elemental mastery by 80. And then I have a 4-piece set, which increases charged attack damage by 35% if the character uses a catalyst or a bow. Wanderer uses a catalyst, so it's worth it for me to have this set bonus. You know, if your character is a sword user or something like that, it might not be 100% worth it if you have like better artifacts lying around, but it works. You know, it works. And if you look at these substats, there's attack, crit rate, and crit damage, and energy recharge. A lot of the times, if you can get an artifact with 2, like both crit rate and crit damage in some regard, that is all you can ask for as a casual player. If I look at the one that I only have at level 10, I can go click on enhance and I can level this up. So I can auto add stuff, which I don't have anything right now, but I can add stuff to level this up. And the more you level it up, the more the substats and the main stat go up. You know, the one thing that's nice about artifacts is you don't have to ascend them like you do the weapons and characters. You just level them up, so it's a little simpler. The way you level them up is a number of ways. You use either other artifacts to level them up, or you get like certain materials to level them up. If I was really desperate, I have a lot of these saved. So if I physically click on this little plus button, it'll show me ones that I have locked, which mean that I don't want to put these in here. I don't want to use them. I'm saving them. All of these I have saved for future characters because I liked the stats that were on them. You can always change your mind and you can unlock it. And then once you click on it, it adds it there. But I can always lock it again. Once you use it, though, it's gone. So choose wisely. And now you're probably wondering, hey man, how do I get artifacts? That is
to become a
easy, and it's not. If I go to the map and I take a look, so let's click on this boss, right? The Cryo Regisvine. If I look at possible rewards, you can see that artifacts are there. So not only do I get like the character leveling up materials, I also get artifacts. Electrohypostases, same thing. I can get artifacts. All of these different like boss enemies, I can get artifacts. Really cool, right? I can also go to certain domains. Now remember, I told you that there are 2 different types of domains. The Trounce domains and basically the regular domains. The regular domains can also give you artifacts. This is a lot of the times what people reference to when they say they're artifact hunting. They go to these domains that specifically only give out artifacts, and they do it over and over and over until they get good artifacts. It's, again, gambling. You spend your resin, get artifacts, and see if any of the ones you got were good. Artifacts are a whole deal, a whole mess, but if that's your thing, I know plenty of people who love artifact hunting and building their characters to do like 300k damage and stuff like that, which is impressive, but that's not what I'm here for. All right, now that we're done with characters, let's just go over briefly the stuff in the menu that I didn't already go over. It's all pretty self-explanatory, but it is what it is. Shop is that same thing that I showed you before with the wishes. Party setup is exactly what it sounds like. It's how you set up your party. So this is my current party. You can do other parties too. Mine are nonsensical. Please don't look at them. Don't worry about it. But if I look at my main party here, I can do quick setup, where I look at all the characters that I have, and I can switch them out. So if I didn't want Zhongli, and I want to switch him out for Ito, I save it.
And the crowd goes wild!
There he is. That's my boy. So if I also want to quick switch him out.
Let's investigate this further.
There we go. So you can click on a specific character and switch them out, or you can just do quick setup and take a look at all of them. So if I wanted to remove all of these characters and totally switch them out, I totally could if I wanted. I'm going to go back to my
What shall we do?
regular party. And that's that. Party setup. Pretty easy. Achievements is exactly what it sounds like. Every time you get a little achievement, it'll have a little red exclamation point, and you can go and collect it for Primo Gems. Pretty cool. You have the archive. I never use this ever, unless you're looking for tutorials. Shows you all the tutorials. You can search them. You can go by category. It's always good. Whenever there's a new tutorial, it'll give you a little alert too. You have geography. You know, self-explanatory. Travel log. Self-explanatory. Books, materials, equipment. Basically just gives you a little rundown on a lot of stuff. Then we also have the character archive, which shows you all the characters. It'll have the ones that you have all colored in, and ones you don't have will be dim. Then we have character, inventory, quests, map. We've been to like all of this stuff. Then we have events, adventure handbook, wish, battle pass, co-op mode, special event. There is none right now, so if I click on it, it's gonna be like, there aren't anything. Special events, it'll have a little exclamation point when they're there. Those will just be little things where you can get like little rewards. It'll show you in game. I won't go into it. Community version highlights is exactly what it sounds like. Shows you what is going on right now. Feedback and survey. If we go up to here, it shows your adventure rank, which like I said is level 59. It shows you your world level. You can always lower your world level too. So if your friend who's only, you know, level 25 wants to come to your world, you can lower it so they can come, but your, you know, enemies will be lower level. They won't give you as many rewards, you know, that kind of thing. If I want to edit anything on my profile, I can do that. I can change my avatar. Right now it's Venti. I can change my name card, which is my name. I can edit my signature, which is in my mail life era. I can copy my UID. Then I have take photo. You can take little photos in the game. It gives you a tutorial. You have notices, which just gives you like updates and like upcoming stuff. You have mail, which you get from all sorts of things. Gift mailbox is usually when it's a character's birthday. They'll give you little rewards and stuff, or for certain events. Really cool. Regular mail, you have like your HoYoLab community daily check-in. If you don't have the HoYoLab app and do your daily check-ins, download the app and do it. It gives you some really nice rewards sometimes, like Primo Gems, stuff like that. This is a thing that it'll explain to you in the game. I won't go too into it, but you can change the time. For certain quests, that's really important. It'll say like, come back tomorrow between 8 and 9. So if I want to change it, I would drag it, you know, do whatever I want. That kind of stuff. I can also show you really quick because I realized
and I know just
I have not done my check-in yet.
If you wish
so
to hear.
I'm going on the HoYoLab app right now. I'm clicking on today's reward. And look at that. New mail. It's very fast. It's very, very fast. So it also shows that little red exclamation point up by Paimon's head. Or if I just hit escape to go to the menu, it shows it in my mail. I can click that. And there it is. Hooray, I just got free money. Now, the last couple things that I'm going to go over are collecting rewards and spending resin. Now, I'm sure a lot of you who play Genshin have been like, can you please go fucking do that? Yes, I will. So a lot of the times it'll show you like rewards and stuff that you can do up in the corner when you go to the map. And I can do my daily commissions and my expedition rewards. If I teleport over to the Adventurers Guild, you see it's yellow, which means that I have stuff to go get. So I can teleport to Mondstadt or wherever you're at. You can go to Inazuma, you can go to Sumeru, you can go to Liyue, you can go wherever you want. So if I run over and go to Catherine at the Adventurers Guild, and I talk to her, I can claim my stuff. So daily commission reward happens when you complete all 4 of your daily commissions.
Thank you for complete.
And you get some extra stuff. Hooray! That's that. If I talk to her again, you have expeditions. Character expeditions I also didn't know were a thing until way too late, so I'm gonna go over that. Character expeditions are when you can basically put a limit of 5. You won't have 5 right away. You have to get to a certain level, but you can put a certain amount of characters out into the world to gather stuff for you. Very cool, right? So since I can only do 5, you know, there's a lot of empty ones. You can get materials like, you know, metals and stuff like that. You can get ingredients. You can get Mora. Right now, what I have is I have Bennett out to get materials, and everyone else is out getting Mora. So since the expedition's complete, I will claim, and then I can select a new character. Now, just so you know, I know some people were confused about this. When you pick a character to go out, even if they're in your party, they don't leave your party. So since, like, Kazuha is in my party, if I send him out, he doesn't have a character bonus, so I won't. But if I send him out, he's not going to leave my party. He will stay there, so don't worry. If Bennett is in your party and you send him out, he will stay in your party. But some characters will have little bonuses. I like to use those. So when dispatched on an exhibition in Mondstadt, time consumed is reduced by 25%. So instead of 20 hours, he only takes 15 hours. Pretty cool, right? Same with Fischl. I'm going to send her out. Liyue, same thing. Keqing has that same thing. I'm going to send her out. Chongyun, I'm going to send him out. Shinobu's is a little different. Hers, I have 2. I can either dispatch Sarah for that same bonus, or she gains 25% more rewards when dispatched on an Inazuma expedition for 20 hours. So she'll take 20 hours, but she'll get me 25% more reward. So I like to send her out. And here's that little hack that I mentioned a little earlier, if you paid attention to that. So if you saw that Bennett...
Add Astra.
Yes. If you saw Bennett gathered iron and crystals, if you remember in the battle pass, if I go to that, you mine 10 items a day, that counts. You don't have to go out and physically mine any items if you don't need to. You can literally just collect them from someone you send out on an expedition and claim it that way. Fun little hack that I really like to do because I'm lazy and I don't like to go out and mine things. Another thing that I like to do once a day is I will go over to wherever the blacksmith is and I will buy all of the weapons they have. They refresh usually once every 16 hours, I believe. So I do it once a day. This is just a me thing. I buy them all because it helps me level up weapons. Weapon materials to me are a little harder to get, so I like to buy those every day, just, you know, keep it up. All right, we're gonna talk about the last thing. And I know that this is gonna be, again, one of the more confusing things, but this is one of the more important things, is resin. Nobody explained it to me when I first started playing, and I wasted a lot of it. So I'm really trying to keep people from doing my same mistake. Resin is extremely useful. You use it for like everything. If you remember me talking about leveling up literally like anything in the game, you need resin to do it. Character leveling or ascending materials, artifacts, talent leveling up materials, weapon leveling up material, literally like anything ever that you need to level up, you need to use resin to get. So if you see, I have 160 out of 160. So it says it's fully replenished. If I go to that little plus, you can also trade primo gems to get it, and also this fragile resin, which you get from doing the battle pass, you get from doing quests and all sorts of stuff. And if you remember in the serenitea pot, I was gathering like the coins from there, and I could buy another type of resin. That type of resin only lasts a certain amount of time, So you have to use it within that amount of time. This stuff doesn't expire though. So that's really cool. But if I go
Time to go.
to the crafting table, I can craft what is called condensed resin, which uses 40 of your regular resin and 1 of these crystal cores and makes condensed resin. And you can only make a certain amount, you know, a day because it only gives you 160 resin per day. This, you can hold no more than 5 at a time, can be used instead of original resin to revitalize petrified trees and ley line blossoms. These only work for certain things. These guys, the ley line blossoms, there are 2 types. There are the ones that give you money and the ones that give you character leveling up stuff. Just those. Domains I already kind of went over. Gives you all sorts of shit. These 2 guys, you can use the condensed resin and get double the stuff with, you know, half the amount of effort. Really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I usually do. So D-Luke is what I'm working on right now. And I need to get 1 more of these chunks. So I'm going to go find the find the Pyro Regisfine, which I know by heart is over here. And I'm going to teleport to the nearest waypoint, and I'm going to go fight it. And now it'll show you when you click on it, or you can go to the little like journal thing too. If I click on it, it shows me how much resin I need to spend in order to get what I need. You can do that for any enemy. 40, 40, 40. Pretty much all the regular like bosses are going to take 40 resin. If you go to the ley line blossoms, they take 20. So, little less. Then there are those trounce domains. Remember how I said there are these guys that you get from fighting Child? Yeah. But those are tricky. Those trounce domains, I don't like them. Trounce domains basically are these special bosses. So like, the Dominator of Wolves is one of them. So you see treasure collection cost. Instead of 60 resin, it's at 30. But remaining attempts to claim treasure, 1. You can only get it for half off once a week. It refreshes after a week. So if I do it once because I need to collect some of this stuff and I want to fight it again, it's going to take me 60 resin. So, you know, it's kind of annoying. But since I would need to fight Child to get what I need for Xiao, here it is. It's Enter the Golden House. Again, 30 instead of 60. And if you take a look down here, that's what I would need. But like I said earlier, if you fight him, sometimes it will not give you this. It will give you this, or it will give you this. If you go to the crafting table and use these, you can change these into this. But some characters will need this. And it's, you know, and it's like vice versa. If you need one of these, sometimes you'll only have these. So you need to use this to make it into this. Don't ask me. I don't fucking know. I don't know why. So I am going to go fight the Pyro Regisfine. And once I'm done, I'll show you what that looks like. Alrighty. Took me like a minute. But I'm done. And you see, to touch the blossom, I can press F. And it says, revitalize the leyline blossom to claim a reward. 40 original resin required. Continue. And it shows you up in the corner. And I say, yup, because I need what it has. And it shows you all the rewards you've obtained. So you see I got a couple of artifacts. I got some artifacts. I got that Everflame seed. And I got those gems. However, if you notice, I didn't get the exact one I needed. But that's okay.
There are leaves around.
If I go to the crafting table. I will show you. So if I hit craft and I take a look, I can craft it because these gems come in like one of 4 like sizes. They come in the tiny little chunks, the slightly bigger chunks, the bigger chunks, and the whole chunks. Now, right now for D-Luke, I only need one more of this guy, actually. Eventually, I'll need these guys, but I need 3 of these to make 1 of these. So don't pay attention to that. I can craft it though. So yep, I want to trade 3 of these to make 1 of these. And there we go. So if I go back to D-Luke and I take a look at that. I have all I need for that. Now I just need more of those small lamp grass and then I can ascend him. Hooray. Now, if you noticed, I also got those artifacts. So here's what I do while I'm leveling up him. Remember I said I was still building Wanderer? I can go to his artifacts. I can click on the one I'm working on. I can enhance it. I can auto add those 4-star and under ones. And I can hit enhance. And it levels it up. Now, if you notice, it didn't use all of them because automatically the game is like, are you sure you want to use those 5-star ones? So what I'll do is I'll click on it and I will check the stats. It's got really shitty stats. HP, you know, all this stuff that I'm not going to use. So I'm just going to use it. So I'm going to physically add it on and I'm going to enhance it. And it says caution, high rarity item. I don't care. Confirm. And there we go. Now I don't have any more to add. All the rest of them are locked. And then I would basically just keep going. Anytime I defeat an enemy that has artifacts, I'll use it to level up artifacts on a character. And the cycle goes on and on. Well, everyone, that was my full dummies, beginners, novices, whatever you want to call it, rundown of Genshin Impact. If you have any questions about anything I went over or didn't go over, leave them in the comments and I will do my best to answer. I just really, really love this game. I play it literally every day, religiously. It's a problem. So I hope this was helpful. I really appreciate anybody and everybody who watched. Let me know also in the comments if there are any games you would like me to play. Hopefully, maybe in the future when more Archon quests get put out, I will play those for my channel and put them out here. I used to stream Genshin, but I stopped because this is sort of like my feel-good relaxation game and I didn't want the pressure of playing it on Twitch. If you want to see me play it on Twitch, hey! I'm not gonna deny what the people want. So thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it through all of this. Go ahead and like the video if this was helpful or if you liked it. Imagine. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. That would mean the world to me. Wow, that would mean a lot. Go ahead and share the video to someone who needs a little help in Genshin. I am happy to be that help. Otherwise, thank you again. I hope you have the best day ever. Anyways, I will see you next week. Have a good one.